Hello everyone, Lethal Concept here, and I'm here with my patch 1.05 breakdown. Now, as someone that has frequently played a lot of characters on gold and leveled all the basic characters on gold and planning to do all the different class guides on gold, I've played with a lot of the weapons, and I thought I'd give my take and my view on what's changed and if the changes are good enough for 1.05. So let's go over the 1.05 changes. Melee. To reduce the effectiveness of repeated melees against tougher enemies, player melee attacks can now be interrupted by enemy attacks. So, we're seeing a lot of builds be centralized around either Vanquisher or the melee, and more importantly, the melee barrier drain. I don't think the melee builds will go away, honestly. What I think will happen is that there'll be more actual thought going into using melee beards instead of just punch, and I think that will be an okay good thing. The problem is, however, is that there aren't enough builds or weapons or options that you can use outside of Vanquisher and melee, and that's where the problem lies. And unless we do that, I don't think nerfing melee and Vanquisher is the first step. The first step should be buffing up power combos and buffing up weapons. So that's my thought on that. Challenger tracking is that Lance and Throw will now successfully increment the Bite combo. I don't think some of you guys might like challenges, and if that's the case, then congrats, you got that extra challenger bonuses for the Lance and Throw, but generally that's not something that I'm really interested in. So moving on, these are weapon changes. So generally we found that semi-automatic assault rifles and pistols are underperforming. Yep, that's correct. When compared to their automatic counterparts, we've increased the damage per round of most of these guns. That's good. And fixed bugs that will limit the rate of fire on semi-automatic weapons. Now for assault rifles, so you have the rate of fire lowered, damage per round to partially offset the increased fire rate. So damage per round went down. That's 20. That's not that good. If you lower damage but increase the fire rate, you're not really changing much unless a damage increase unless the fire rate increase is significant, and even then you're just chewing through ammo really fast. And well, I'll test this out. There'll be footage in the background of me using the Maddock, and we'll see how that goes. That's around 30 damage increase. That's still not enough on the Sandstorm. That's 4 damage. That's useless. 6 damage. That's useless. 20 damage. That's useless. That's a large increase. That's also a good increase. Yep, the Predator is now better than the Maddock. Yep, the Predator is actually better than the Maddock now. That's very small incremental increases. The Scorpion, however, this bad boy, that's actually significant. That's because Scorpion's actually one of the weapons that you can actually use reliably well, because Scorpions allows you to do damage without risking return fire, because it allows you to shoot enemies behind cover and allows you to shoot from behind cover without actually having to show yourself. So that's actually a pretty decent buff. Shotguns. Ammo increase, so there's no actual damage increase, stagger abilities on descriptions, or mention of spread, or the smart choke bug. So that's useless because Shadow's really weak. Indra, now I actually think the Indras, and I've tested this on the Turian Soldier, and Indra's actually a half decent assault rifle replacement. The only other candidate is Raptor, and the Raptor has a lot smaller magazines, so it's either Indra or Raptor now that you'll be using for fill-in for assault rifle builds. That's my take on that. That's needed. Boosters, well, that's just a description buff. So enemies on Cat. Anointed players can no longer avoid damage by standing up against a firing anointed. You don't really stand up against them anyway, so this doesn't really change much unless one really sneaks up onto you. That's not really useful. More likely to target nearby players. That's okay, I guess. I mean, they're supposed to target nearby players. Now, there's one really interesting thing that I've seen with this, and this is actually with Berserkers and not with the Behemoth. The thing is, with the Outlaw Berserkers, because they have the same thing, are more likely to target nearby players. I've actually had an instance where there's a room, and the Berserker was standing on the roof of the room, and I was on the other side. And Berserker should have been targeting me, but because someone was someone was under him inside the room, and he was on the roof, and I was on the roof. Technically, he was closer to the person inside the room, and so what he did was he did this kind of like funny back and forth, didn't know who to target, and that's something that I found funny, and I think that's something that got caused because the Berserker was trying to target the closest person that was inside the room below him, but because he can't actually physically shoot through the wall into him, so he was like, it was pretty funny. That's a problem that was caused from the Berserker change. Anyways, Outlaws have been easier fight than other factions. That's mainly because the Observers on Remnant and the Ketanoid, yeah, pretty much. So Sharpshooters, that's good. That's just stupid. Yeah, chain sync attacks. That really pissed people off. That pissed me off. That's useless. Now this change is potentially big. Sharpshooters now fire more frequently. This change I actually do not like, and the reason I don't like this isn't because I think that sharpshooters are too strong. It's because I think it really pushes a lot of the weaker, the quote-unquote seen weaker builds out, because you got characters like Engineer and the Adept and the human Adept, mainly engineers that are really like to stick to cover because they really need the cover and they really need to not get hit because they don't have a lot of ways to innately help them safely regen health and shields. Like for the human Vanguard, you got charge regen shields. For the human or the infiltrator, you got cloak regen shields because no one can fire at you. And when they fire more frequently, especially gets targets out of cover, means you got to play a much more safer dodge to cover rolls on those classes that don't have ways to regen health and shields. And sniper rifle increased by 44%. That's a huge increase. I've seen a lot of times that sharpshooters can take out my entire shields in one shot. Does this mean they take out my entire shields and half my health? Well, maybe not, because maybe the shield gate, and obviously you have more health, but that's quite an increase. Aiming time is shortened at shorter ranges. That's weird because they're not supposed to be shooting at short ranges, they're supposed to be shooting at far away. They should try to run away and not shoot at you at shorter ranges. That's okay. That's okay. Again, the bug. That sync kills. Hydra is now sync killable. I think they should just go away with sync kills, honestly. And what I actually think they should happen is they should actually revert back the change so that Hydras actually deal a large chunk of damage when they use that animation. Because I just don't agree with sync kills, especially because like with the Fiend, the stupid Mr. Magnet Hand sync kills, and the Ascendant teleport and just sync kill you unless you dodge really fast. Sync kills in general just makes it very anti-fun. What they should happen is they should just make it so they deal a large percent of damage on their melee animation of that they're using for the sync attack. Yeah, that's actually fine, but no longer cancel firing. That I don't agree with. Sync attack is on. What this actually sounds like is when the Hydra is targeting using the missile system, it targets you, and when you dodge right into cover, and if it's at the point where it fires, it will target someone else and fire on that target. I'm not sure about that. That doesn't sound that fun. Sync attacks are now will likely target nearby players. Hydra now lose their target, but no longer cancel firing when the target's cloak while locking on the fixed. Oh, okay. I don't think that's good. I think every time that it locks onto a new target, it should start with the original cast arm, but then lock. That's what I think. Because what if you're like running away and you cloak and then the target's just about to fire? Does that mean that when it changes to a new target, it automatically starts firing because it's at that point, because it's locked onto you for so long? I don't. If that's the case, I don't like it. There's a lot of instances where a lot of enemies' bodies still appear when destroyed, so that's going to be fixed. Observer has been strong, but yes. Again, I don't think that's a problem. When you're talking about beam duration and beam damage, that's not the problem. The problem is when you dodge, that beam stays on you 24/7. It stays on you like moss on a log, like leech on blood, like mosquitoes. Oh, I hate mosquitoes. But yeah, it stays on you, and that's the problem. And another problem is they can fly, so cover does not mean anything against these guys. They can just fly right over you and lock the crap out of you. So that's the problem. If they made it so that they had a charge up, and every time that you dodged, then the charge resets, and the charge up was like, say, 0.25 seconds. I think that would be fine. That's what I'll do. They would have a charge up before firing 0.25 seconds, and then when you dodge, they have to charge up again and act as a lock on. Decreasing, that's fine. Travel faster and hits harder. How I feel about this? What I would like for this is that I don't think projectile attacks should travel faster. I don't mind that they hit harder, but travel faster is a bit of an iffy one. We'll have to see how the change goes. Stale steals and fire more shoot. That's fine. That's fine. If you didn't know, to stop a nullifier firing before patch 1.05, what you just did is you just walk right up to it and start punching it with, and then it would just stop firing and it would try to hit you. Walk back, and then you right here. Oh, single player only. So what? It still does that in multiplayer? Okay, that's fine. Destroys. That's fine. That still happens. Alright, now for the undocumented changes. This is nice because playing Krogan was a real pain for that. If you guys known, then what happens is once you enter Blood Rage, the lines on that are really like thin, and the color on that is really concentrated on that area. So you got like this flashing thin lines, and honestly, if you have epilepsy, it can cause epilepsy from what I think and I've seen. The new architect character is added. I've done a character analysis on that. If you want to go check it out, feel free. My opinion, you might not agree with my opinion, but after playing almost all the characters on gold, all my characters 20 on gold for my basics, I have a decent idea on what's needed. New sniper rifle added. Yes, the new sniper rifle, the Inferno. Decent damage. That's a decent rate of fire. That unlimited ammo is the real interesting thing. The accuracy 65 and the weight's 45. So Vanquish is still going to be stronger than this, and also because it's an ultra rare, it's not going to be as easy to obtain. But my thoughts is that it's going to be a good stand-in and it's a good alternative if you can get it. Yep, that's good. The problem I have with this is that it takes, like, if you like when you you can't actually just choose a rarity. Like if you just want ultra rares, you can't choose it. You have to cycle through basic uncommons, rares, and then ultra rares. I'm not sure if that's actually tested as much. That's bug likely. Yeah, Vanquishers did a lot of damage on it. Vanquish is still going to be the #1 sniper rifle until they change either the drop pool ratings or other weapons to increase damage. But yeah, I don't never use that. That's nothing for me. Yes, this is big. This is really big. This actually makes it so that you don't need 100% an infiltrator class with a stealth grid to actually hack it. 3 seconds is really fast. and you can generally get away with just hacking the objective and ignoring enemies because it's really fast. So this is really nice. That's not as useful as me. This is nice because you can actually see what missions are, what mission modifiers there are without having to ask the party lobby leader. I haven't tested that because I don't play Apex missions as much. I just use my strike teams. It's just more efficient for me. That's a nice change. We can all see how weak and pathetic our combo damage is actually are, and how weak and pathetic our power damage actually are now. Whoops. That's not useful for me. Avenger Strike. Fasten patch went up and seems to have a higher chance to actually hit things up in the air. That's pretty nice. That's a good change. That's useless. You never pick speed boost over duration. Duration trumps speed boost every day. That's nice for the more experienced players that have time on their hands. But that's not as nice for people that are starting out, because what you want to do, what I would recommend, because this just means that the more you play the game, you'd have more strike teams, and then this just gives you more opportunity to earn mission funds. What they should actually do, they should actually make it so that mission funds scale with your mission level. So what I recommend is that bronze should have what I think they should do is, the first time you complete a bronze one, you should get 15 mission credits. First time you complete a gold, silver, bronze, 15, and then when you do that over and over again, you then get the lower rewards until you get 5 mission credits. This makes it so that when you first start off, you can get actually a nice chunk of mission. Is it mission funds? It's mission funds, not credits. What am I talking about? It's mission funds when you first start out, because you want to incentivize people. Because this just means that you just want more mission strike teams for the mission funds. But if you want more strike, you just need to play more. So that's not really incentivizing us to play more, if you know what I mean. Probably don't. Anyways, going on. Layout characters has visual breaks from each rarity. I've seen that. That actually looks nicer now. That's okay. That I actually don't agree with. Because a lot of people will start off in bronze, and when they just first hit silver, when they're playing their first silver games, is this really the thing you want them to go up against? Ascendant that you have to kill first on wave 6 assassination in silver? That's not something that I would like new players to go up against. That's really not what I would want them to do. What I would actually have them do is I'd actually have them finish all 4. No, what I'd actually have them do is have them take down 3 normal assassination targets, and when they clear the map, the 4th one comes up and it's an ascendant, and that's the 4th assassination target. That's what I would change. That's what I would do. But making them a target for assassination, it just forces them to go up against a really difficult opponent that new players would have a lot of trouble with. On silver? Oh god. I'm sorry, new guys. I hope or new players, I hope they revert this change, because my advice, don't play against Ascendants are from Ket. Don't play against Ket in silver. That's all I can say. You'll have a bad time, trust me. Yeah, that's okay. Again, as I said, at least I made the last... No, what I really think they should do is make it so when they clear the map, the last target comes up, and that's the boss that you have to kill. That's what I think. Okay, so I've never changed my key bindings from E and F, and E is the default key binding for interact, and E was my default key binding for break when dogs attack me. Now it's changed to F, so I'm not sure if that's changed it because they made it so custom key bindings works. F was my melee, and I'm guessing they changed it to melee now. Anyways, this is a unintended change that I actually picked up on. Grenades no longer show damage indication, and I think that's really huge because you use grenades to take out groups, and the only way you know that you're hitting an enemy is with a damage indication. Unless you're willing to throw all your grenades to kill the enemy, because you actually get a kill feed, and if you kill an enemy, you know that the enemy is inside. You hit it and it's dead, but you don't know it if you don't. There's no hit indication, and I noticed there's no hit indication on mine, so that's not very nice. I can't use grenades to see if there's enemies in the room. Shame. Yep, that's due to the change. Anyways, all in all, very weak. Doesn't address the glaring issues of very weak power combos, damage, and power damage in general. Doesn't address the issues that a lot of shotguns are very weak. A lot of assault rifles are weak. They're still weak, honestly, and doesn't address the problems that we really need. We really need alternative weapons, because it's just Vanquisher, Talon, Piranha. We just need a more variety of weapons that can actually do what they're supposed to do. Anyways, that's it for me. I've rambled on long enough. Hope you have a nice day. I have a very mixed, very sad reaction to these play notes. The only good thing is this: improved matchmaking. Anyway, that's it for me. Hope you had a great day. See you next time, and thanks for watching.